thought I was going to be the Cinderella, but I ended up being the Lady Tremaine. I'm not even upset about it. We have done the saddest Buffy deaths, the saddest Angel deaths, the saddest Last Kingdom deaths, the saddest Lord of the Rings death, and the saddest Game of Thrones death, but we have not yet done the best Disney villain deaths. I'm rocking the We're All Mad Here shirt today. Fun fact that I didn't know, but Disney technically classifies the Cheshire Cat as a villain? Interesting. Interesting choice, but okay. I don't know. Anyways, hello everyone and welcome. It's Eclectic Kelpi, where we dive into the treasure trove of fantastical media. And today we are going to be ranking the best Disney villain deaths. The qualifications for the ranks today are going to be based on how they died. Was it creative, well done, and satisfying? How epic was their death? Personality is going to come into play quite a bit, because who doesn't love a Disney villain? I actually really miss the classic Disney villains because they were lots of tea, lots of shade, better than the main characters most of the time, so yeah, I would like to go back to the classic Disney villain. And because we are celebrating most of these Disney villain deaths, we are going to be ranking them on a tier list of Celebration, Beauty and the Beast, Like the Feast be our guest. We are pleased. This is the most satisfying and the most vindicating. Next down is the Genie, applause. It's like good riddance, pleased that they're gone. Next down is Hades, thumbs up. Obviously Hades doesn't die, so I wanted to include him in this list because he is my favorite Disney villain, so he gets the thumbs up. Next down is Alice's, oh dear, that was unfortunate. This one is the prayers and sorrows of the other lists, where it's like, oh, it's sad that, like, oh no, they've passed. And then praise and sorrows, obviously, is the actual, of course she's being sarcastic, but I love this gif, so I had to include it still. But this one is the praise and sorrows. It is actually sad that they have passed. But without further ado, let's jump into this list and start ranking most vindicating and satisfying Disney villain deaths. This one might even be controversial that it's even on the list because Oogie Boogie technically is a Disney villain. So I guess just like he's a really cool villain, but like objectively it's good that he died. Next up is the Horn King. I feel like, okay, so oh man, this one, okay. The Black Cauldron is not interesting, really. I know that like a lot of people have found they enjoy it now later as time has gone on. Man, I found it really boring, and I'm obsessed with high fantasy, and I love the Lord of the Rings, and you know, I just found it to be really boring, and I gave it a chance. I tried, I watched it, and it was just not good, so yeah, I mean, he was an effective villain. He was a good villain, but the story was just not good, in my opinion. So, yay! Next up is Ratigan. I actually love Ratigan. I think that the Great Mouse Detective is so underrated. And, you know, I really like him, but I think, yeah, actually, he's got to be oh dear. He's got to be an oh dear. He got squished in a clock. That's not a very nice way to go. It is a pretty epic way to go. He was a really cool villain. So he gets oh dear. Scroop. Treasure Planet. I didn't get into Treasure Planet until later, and it never was like on my radar as one of my favorites or something that I was really into. And I think, oh man, does he like fall into the void of space or something? I can't even remember. No, he cuts off the rope to the other guy. I can't remember how he dies. I think he's a mid-tier villain anyways. I think that story's not supposed to be about a villain. It's supposed to be about finding yourself and growing up and the consequences of greed and so on. So mid-tier. Zira. Okay, Lion King 2. This, I'm gonna say something so controversial, but so true to me. Lion King 2 was way better than Lion King 1. Not necessarily for the villains, but I prefer, you know, it's Romeo and Juliet versus Hamlet. And I would argue that Romeo and Juliet is a more fun story than Hamlet. I like Hamlet. I liked Lion King 2 better. So, but she was also a really good villain. So I think because she was a good villain, and I think that, oh man, yeah, and like her son died, and then she like was off. It was very good. I think we claps and applause her. And then Percival, I actually have never seen The Rescuers Down Under. I've seen The Rescuers, but I've never seen The Rescuers Down Under. So I think he's just mid forte. I think, man, he really does off the wall himself. He really does make a choice. I think he was an okay villain. I think he was mid at best. The Enchanted Christmas Beauty and the Beast was mid at best. I think that he can be claps. So Luke, okay, so we talk about Disney sequels being trash, right? But like, I thought the King of Thieves was a pretty good Disney sequel. I think Aladdin and the Little Mermaid did Disney sequels very well. That's my opinion. And I actually think that he died in such a cool way, and I thought that he was a really kind of interesting villain, and I liked the villain song, which is so, like, obviously the villain songs are the best, and I miss that component of newer Disney movies so much. But yeah, he, like, dies being turned into solid gold. He goes down with, like, his hubris and greed, and yeah, I think that he was a really cool death. Yeah, celebrations. King Candy. I don't really have much to say about King Candy. Wreck-It Ralph is not one of my go-tos, so I've seen it, but yeah, it's not one of my favorites, so yeah, cool. He kind of died in, like, a moth to the flame kind of capacity, so I guess that was kind of interesting. Bill Sykes from Oliver and Company. I think he gets run over by a car. And I think that we have to... So this is kind of like counterintuitive, right? The celebration is for the yay, they're gone. Which feels like, so he's the worst. Like, we are supportive of him leaving. Animal abuse is not tolerated, and I don't think I have to explain any more than that. The entity thing from Raya and the Last Dragon. I saw Raya and the Last Dragon. I enjoyed Raya and the Last Dragon. This was forgettable. It's the last, like, Disney villain, but is it, like, even a Disney villain? I mean, it was on the list of Disney villains that passed away that I utilized to compile this list of Disney villains, so I decided to include it, but, like, there should be a separate category of irrelevance. So this would go in irrelevance, but it can chill in some thumbs up. It's fine. All right. Mother Gothel. Ugh, she was such a good villain. I think it's gotta be, like, because oh no, okay. So she had, like, an epic death. She had an absolutely epic death. Falling and turning to dust because, like, her life-sustaining... I was gonna call it life-sustaining medication, but that really... I don't know about that. But anyways, her life-sustaining magic was taken away from her. She felt, but, like, she's so cool. So I feel like she's bypassing, you know what? In terms of being epic, I would celebrate her. In terms of her dying, she's an oh dear. Because she, I think, is more compelling and interesting than Rapunzel. I would love to have a Mother Gothel backstory, because why did she find the flower? Like, what was her motivation for immortality? Like, development. Give me morally gray villain. I'm intrigued. All right, next up is Dr. Facilier. He had one of the toppest tier deaths, I think. He was literally dragged to the bad place. And the song, like the dun 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 dun. Oh. He's one of my top tiers, I think. You know what? Prayers and Sorrows. for Facilier. He was so cool. I think he had one of the toppest tier epic deaths, but I'm sad that he died. It is not a positive that he died. I'm sad. Oh wait, I just realized this guy was hunting animals. He was a poacher. He's been upgraded. We don't mess with animal abuse. Pippin said so. Next up is the Evil Queen. I have a bad history with this lady. I hated her so much when I was little. She scared me so bad. And she's my least favorite. I hated her. I hated the witch. I am holding a grudge. I can't remember what her name is. I think her name is Grimhilda. Anyways, the Evil Queen from Snow White. We're celebrating. We are dancing on the rock that fell on her. Celebrations. Pop the champagne. Next is Maleficent. I think Maleficent is also... She was scary, but she was so classic. She was so, like, cool. I don't know. She didn't scare me. She was just cool. I mean, she did a little bit. Like the fireplace nonsense when she's luring Aurora. Yeah, that's creepy. But frankly, she was not invited to the party and she needed recompense for such disrespect. So, Prayers and Sorrows, Maleficent. The baddie. Next is Ursula. I think it's super clear. She and Hades are my favorite villains of all time from Disney. So good, so sassy, so, like, the deal makers, the, like, fast-paced energy. I just love them. And honestly, she kind of was not wrong. Like, okay, yes, Ariel was under the age of majority where she shouldn't have been able to sign a legal document without a parent or guardian present. That's fine. But, like, she wasn't wrong. So, Prayers and Sorrows, bring Ursula back. You know, I also was debating on doing her sister, Morgana, from Little Mermaid 2. But we very clearly see that her eyes are still moving. And then I was gonna Google, like, how long can an octopus survive in ice? But she wasn't on the list that I'm referencing to craft this list, so I just let it go. Next up is Scar. I think Scar's got to be an oh dear too. He is a fantastic villain. Absolutely fantastic. Jeremy Irons is an incredible actor. Love him, love his work, love his voice. Crushed it with this character. But yeah, again, you know, I'm just not, like, obsessed with The Lion King. I went to acting school. I did Hamlet. Give me Ursula and Hades. Okay. Next up is Shan Yu, and I think also he was a very good villain. I think Mulan was so well orchestrated. I also love, this is a fun fact that I learned, is that in Mongolia, they promoted women warriors. Love that. So, oh dear, good job. There would have been probably women amongst the Hun army, and that feels really cool. Because Mulan shouldn't have been the only one. Let women be baddies. Let women fight in wars if they want to. I want a sword. I have a sword. I have 3. And a bow. Anyways, he was good. He was intimidating. I think he was a very effective villain. Loved it. Moving along. Jafar, I also think was such a cool villain. I mean, all Disney villains are kind of queer-coded. At least the, like, older Disney villains are queer-coded a little bit. But anyways, Jafar, he died in Aladdin 2, The Return of Jafar, because Iago kicked his genie lamp into lava. And I think that he was also a really cool villain. Oh dear. He died. What are you gonna do? Now we are moving on to the 3 worst ones, in my opinion, and worst in terms of being the most successful at being evil. That is starting with Clayton. We don't mess with animals. Leave them alone to be happy and loved. Don't hunt gorillas. I think it's illegal anyways. Don't do it. Gaston? Oh, I retract my statement. We didn't move on to the Clayton is part of the worst, but we didn't quite get there. Anyways, Gaston I think is... oh man. I don't think we can justify misogyny, but we did with Jafar, actually, didn't we? We can't justify blatant misogyny. Gaston is good. Get him out of here. And the older I get, the farther out of here that I would like him to be. All right. Now we're back into the toppest of the worst. Actually, there's only two more. Here is the top two worst of the worst, in my opinion. Genocide. He's trying to kill an entire race of people. We don't mess with colonizers. Excuse him. Celebrate his demise. And also his demise was really cool. In terms of like the crystallization, and Atlantis is actually such an underrated movie, and it has like pockets, and I'm hoping that it like gets another resurgence. But I don't want a live action remake. Maybe of that one, actually. That one might benefit, but I think that's a slippery slope and it's very dangerous. Anyways, last is Claude Frollo. I think he's the worst of the worst. Actually, these two guys are equivalent because they represent the same thing. And also it was really cool because the gargoyles, which are supposed to be like spiritual protectors of Notre Dame, like he falls with one and goes into the blazing fire, and it's all very bad place coded. Yeah. We clap, we cheer, we celebrate, we say, ding dong, the witch is dead, you know, all of that stuff. And that was the ultimate ranking of every single animated Disney villain death. Let me know in the comments down below which villain death that you found to be the most celebratory worthy, and which one you were like, man, they should have been the main character. But thank you all so much for watching Everything with Love, and we'll see you next time in the treasure trove. Bye.